Hello everyone and welcome to my first reaction video. Now, I thought, and I promised myself when I started this YouTube thing, never do a reaction video, right? It's cheap, it's bait, don't do it. But then I thought, um, you know what would be fun? Spending some time every couple of days listening to a few albums with you guys. There was a guy, I've never watched any reaction videos in my life or these type of videos. I never enjoyed these prank videos, these kind of people going over the top and this sort of stuff. It doesn't appeal to me. It's not me. But I found this guy called Bob the Pop Up, and um, maybe it's not pronounced like that, but that's his channel name, and he's fantastic. I'll put it on the screen. But he's fantastic, and he's this rocker metalhead type guy, and he reacts to rap music, especially different rap albums from the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s, modern day, whatever. He reacts to all of them. And I watched a couple of his videos and I thought, this is amazing. What a good idea. But do it with all genres. Albums I'm interested in, albums I've heard before, I've never heard before. Because how often does one sit down truly when you're very busy with work and this kind of stuff and listen to a whole album song by song and experience the album as it is holistically? And so his videos kind of give me the inspiration to make these videos. I've been wanting to do this for a while, but it's been something that I've been kind of pushing back because I he's been doing this for he has hundreds of videos. I've never done this before. I don't know how it works. I didn't even know how to set it up properly. I think I've got it working now. I think it's working fine. But excuse me if there's a problem. Also, let me know if there's a problem with the audio, if it doesn't sound right, if it's too loud, if it's too quiet. Just let me know, and we'll sort it out. I think the sound should be good. It should be good. We'll see. We'll see in a second when we start. But my first album, I wanted to be special. I wanted to be something that means a lot to me. And this particular album, Hybrid Theory, is just you can see it there on the screen. It's something. It's an album that it's always meant a lot to me because it was the first album that got me into music properly. It was the first album that I listened to when I was in primary school. I wasn't exposed to much music. A lot of bands, artists my parents listened to, Led Zeppelin, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Judas Priest. My mom loves Kiss, Motley Crue, and of course the goats, Michael Jackson. I still adore. I think he's the greatest of all time. He's the greatest artist to ever make music, in my opinion. But um, I didn't listen to music. I didn't have, this was the early 2000s. I didn't have a way of listening to music. I didn't have CDs. I just heard what my mom played, my dad played on the radio, or the radio. So I didn't spend much time on my own listening to music. That all changed when it got into the 2010s and I was in high school and I met some of the friends I still have to this day. And I remember on the first day of getting into a new class, meeting a bunch of friends I still have to this very day. One of them, my friend who's been on the channel before, if you know him, Sabi, my good friend Eusebius. He doesn't like being called that, but it's his name. Sabi, he showed me Linkin Park, and I had never heard of them before. Okay, this is like 2011. I had never heard of them before because I grew up in the countryside in the Netherlands. We didn't have this kind of stuff. If you're a kid and you lived a very not sheltered, but a very like I just played video games. I didn't know about music very much. But I did enjoy it, of course. And then on this day, he blew my mind. He played "Crawling" for me by Linkin Park, but from Hybrid Theory, and absolutely insane. Insane. It made me. Like a world that opened up, and I was like, I need more. Show me more. They showed me all the other songs, and Numb and In the End and all the famous ones, whatever. And then I listened to the new album at the time, Living Things, was about to come out. I listened to the one before, A Thousand Suns, right? And incredible. I mean, my friend who I just mentioned, he actually has a Linkin Park tattoo, a Slipknot tattoo. He's Slipknot, Linkin Park. He showed me, and I was like, immediately, this is it. I need to know more. And so we he got me into Opet and Disturbed and all this kind of stuff, and it's just gradually went from there. And I've never considered myself a metalhead or anything like that. I've been to plenty of metal concerts, plenty of rock concerts, plenty of rap concerts, but I've always been very general with my taste in terms of I enjoy all kinds of music. Apart from perhaps the most generic of generic pop music you hear on the radio, I don't understand people like Taylor Swift. I don't really understand that kind of stuff. I find it, that kind of generic pop. There's some pop songs that are good in the modern day, but in the last 15 years, especially, that kind of the indie sort of that sort of stuff is. I find it. I was about to say nauseating, but I find it is so repetitive, so boring, so pain by numbers, and it's so there's no energy. That is for me the biggest issue is there's no energy in the music, and so I wanted to make videos for you guys where we kind of experience these albums together. Whether you've heard them before or you haven't, we sit down and we listen to these albums one by one together. And I think that would be absolutely amazing to do with you guys. Thank you. And yeah, I'm excited to get started. I've got a drink and the Aussie lemonade. This is not a mango loco. This is an Aussie lemonade, which you can't buy in Australia, only from the Japanese like convenience shop. Bloody, it's got to be the best one. But they don't. It's too expensive. Small cans and anyway, shouldn't be drinking that. But whatever. Point is, point is, this album means a lot to me. It's an album. Yeah, it's one of the first albums I ever bought. It's an album that I think it was the first purchase when I've had an iPhone for the first time. Like I've only ever had one back in 2013, I think, and I that was the first album I bought. It's just it's such a landmark, and some people say Meteora is better and whatnot, but I think for me they're pretty equal. I think they're both fantastic, and so yeah, let's experience Hybrid Theory together. And I'm not gonna analyze. I'm not an analyst. I'm not a critic. Whatever. I'm someone who enjoys music, uh, who would love to make music, but doesn't have the necessary skills in all these fields. I would love to, but I try. But that's a different story. Anyway, I want to enjoy the music with you guys, and not be pressured to oh, I have to deliver commentary on this and over the top reactions. My reaction would be natural. I'm someone who is natural. I don't like being fake for YouTube. There's no point. If you don't see me for who I am, then what is the point of watching the video? I don't understand. I don't understand why you would sit here, you would sit there and watch someone who is just being completely fake for entertainment. It's not like Anyway, point is, because I'm going on a tangent now, I will not fake a reaction for any reason, for views or whatever. This will be inspired by Bob the Pop-Up. Fantastic channel. I will link it in the description as well. Respect to him, and thank you for giving me the idea for the videos, because it's a fantastic idea. It's a much more pure way of just sitting down, having a drink, listening to an album instead of making big faces and making loud noises. There's no point. I want to enjoy the music with you guys. So, Hybrid Theory, Linkin Park, I think 2000, right? It says released 9th of October, which is the day before my birthday, 2020. But that's the 20th anniversary edition. I think it's if I'm not mistaken, it's 2000, and Meteor is 2004, right? Because their mixtape zero came out 1999 or something like that. Anyway, I haven't listened to this album in a long time. I've obviously heard, like, In the End and stuff you hear anyway, but I haven't listened to this album in quite a long time. And I will tell you beforehand if I've listened to it or not. So there you go. So with that being said, let's get started. Paper Cut, Hybrid Theory, Linkin Park. Let's go. Let's go. And yes, I also am doing this as my first album, not because it means so much to me, but also because it's my friend's favorite band. My friend who's been supportive of the channel, of everything I've done since the beginning. He deserves this. This is for him. This is for you guys. It's for me. I appreciate it. Thank you. Let's go. No more blabbering. Paper Cut, Linkin Park. Here we go. Let me know if it sounds good. Let me know if it sounds good. That's important. If it sounds too quiet, too loud, everything, let me know. Let's go again, because that's we need the drop.
Set me on first, but I know what I can't stand. Everybody acts, the fact of the matter is I can't add up to what you can. But everybody has a face that they hold inside. Face that awakes when I close my eyes. Face that watches every time they lie. Face that laughs every time they fall. So you know that when it's time to sink or swim, that the face inside is watching you too, right inside your skin. It's like I'm paranoid looking over my back. It's like a whirlwind inside of my head. It's like I can't stop what I'm hearing within. It's like the face inside is right beneath the skin. It's like I'm paranoid looking over my back. It's like a whirlwind.
I will read about the about on every one of the songs. It's the first song of the album, one of their most well-known songs, but it was never released as a single. Only charting as high as 32 and 14. But to be fair, it's Mike Shinoda discusses why the song opened Hybrid Theory and why he hated the music video. Okay. I have seen the music video. I think it's where they're in like just like a set, like a room. I guess a lot of those like early 2000s songs had just like a set, and they weren't like elaborate like they are now, where they're almost like short films.
Inside of my head, it's like I can't stop what I'm hearing within. It's like the face inside is right beneath my skin. The face inside is right beneath the skin. The face inside is right beneath the skin. The face inside is right beneath the skin. The sun goes
This part, this bridge, it kind of reminds me of something that they would do later, like in A Thousand Suns or Minutes to Midnight. It sounds more like that album. This part here, which we'll also be going over at some point as well. The first 5 albums, I would like all of them. I think all of them are fantastic. Of course, certain ones are better. I like Living Things a lot more than a lot of people. I think Living Things, but it's also because Living Things was the first album that was released by them. Uh, Immediately, but right after I became a fan. So of course I'm gonna have some bias, but I think off of Living Things, it's probably the album that consistently that I've listened to the most, that I remember most of the songs from, like individually, every single one. I remember the lyrics, I remember the way it goes, and I don't know. I think Living Things is very good. Anyway, um, this part sounds like it's from like the third or fourth album. I don't know why. Maybe it's the vocals are different. Genius is so funny. Like, it's explaining what a whirlwind means. You know, it's like, yeah, I get it. But I guess that Genius works a little bit better with rap music. Not really. I mean, there's plenty of stuff in metal music that this is kind of a, I guess that first album, also the time period when it came out. This is very much on the face of it. This is one of the more simple, kind of straightforward songs of the bunch. Like a reference to schizophrenia, I've heard that this is a reference to, but I mean, it literally mentioned it in the song. Like a paranoid, I'm looking over my back. Yeah. Okay. All right, one step closer. One step closer. So, another one of their big ones, and I think it's, in my opinion, a bigger one than Paper Cut for sure. It was the first release off of that album, as well as Linkin Park's very first single overall. It has become one of Linkin Park's biggest hits, being played at almost every live show, and even being the closing song for some live shows. Okay. The chorus and first verse were penned by former vocalist Chester Bennington's aspirated pen lyrics to Harry Theory producer Don Gilmore, only for Gilmore to hand the lyrics back to him and tell him to rewrite them. I saw this before when I was going through. Chester Bennington recalled had been forced to fight for this song during the recording. When we were recording it, he was drilling me in it, rewriting about 30 times. Wow. This guy's a maniac. Oh, okay, so it kind of like the other guy, like the producer kind of pushing him so hard, kind of made it better. Okay, I get that, I respect it.
Not take this anymore. Saying everything I've said before. All these words, they make no sense. I find bliss in ignorance. Less I hear, the less you say. You'll find that out anyway. Just like before. Everything you say to me takes me one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break. I need a little room to break. 'Cause I'm one step closer to the edge. I'm about to break. I find the answers aren't so clear. Wish I could find a way to disappear. All these thoughts, they make no sense. I found bliss in ignorance. Nothing seems to go away. Over and over again. Just like before. Everything you say to me takes me one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break. I need a little room to break. 'Cause I'm one step closer
Yeah, I mean, it yeah, I mean, it's such a good song. I mean, it's cool that it was kind of more inspired because of the guy, like the producer, kind of pestering him and kind of being like, "Oh, you have to rewrite this. You have to rewrite this," you know. And then he used that to actually to be like, "No, I'm not going to rewrite this. This is how I feel." That's cool. I mean, it's a classic. Obviously, it's a fantastic song. Um, one of the ones that one of the early Linkin Park songs that a lot of people will know, that will have heard at some point for sure. All right, song three. All right, song three, "With You," another song I really like. Um, "With You" is the third song of the album. It's one of the beginning rap rock mixes that helped them push the mix of rap and rock and streaming of music. Okay. Yeah, I thought "With You" was a good song. It was a pretty underrated song from the album, I think. Oh, the scratching is so good, man. Oh, it makes me want to play like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. Yeah, 2. I think 2 was probably my favorite from the ones I played as a kid. Yeah. Oh man, playing it on the PS1. Just like good times with friends, you know. Man. Early 2000s was a interesting time, was a different time. To the chaos we have of the modern day. I mean, fuck, you know, obviously they had lots of problems back then too, but it just feels so nostalgic now, 20 years later, you know?
To the cold and the static, put my cold feet on the floor. God, I'm about yesterday. Remembering, I'm pretending to be where I'm not anymore. A little taste of hypocrisy, and I'm left in the wake of the mistakes, slow to react. Even though you're so close to me, you're still so distant, and I can't bring you back. It's true, the way I feel was promised by your face. The sound of your voice painted on my memories. Even if you're not with me, I'm with you. Now I see, keeping everything inside. Now I see, even when I close my eyes.
Oh my god. Man, I don't remember the song being so good. What the hell? I do remember it being good, but it's definitely one of my it's one of the more underrated tracks of the album for sure, I think. Very cool. Very cool song. Very cool.
Hit me back, we fall to the floor. The rest of the day stands still. Fine line between this and that. When things go wrong, I pretend that the past isn't real. I'm trapped in this memory, and I'm left in the wake of the mistakes, slow to react. Even though you're close to me, you're still so distant. I can't bring you back. It's true, the way I feel
Just the vocals in that pre-chorus is fucking nuts.
was promised by your face. The sound of your voice painted on my memories. Even if you're not with me, I'm with you. Now I see, keeping everything inside. You, now I see, even when I close my eyes. With you, now I see, keeping everything inside.
Ooh, dude. Oh yeah. I knew once I started getting into this, like actually doing this with you guys, I was really nervous to do this, right? But now, like, I'm like, okay, I'm remembering some songs that I like haven't heard in years, and I'm like, oh my fucking god, now I know why I love this so much. It's so good. It's so good. Fuck. All right. Yeah, honestly, that's fantastic. What a song. What a song. All right, let's see. Points of authority. Points of authority. Okay. Just like with you, I haven't heard this in a long time. I'll probably instantly recognize it, but let's go. Oh yeah. Okay.
Forfeit the game before somebody else takes you out of the frame and put your name to shame, cover up your face. You can't run the race, the pace is too fast, it just won't last.
Okay, that like that kind of stuff where you have the turntables and shit and the scratching. You can it's the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s. But oh my god, I'm looking at the songs on Spotify, and I can see In the End. Holy shit, In the End. So all the other songs have under a billion, with One Step Closer having 718 million. In the End has 2.1 billion streams. Over 2,122,000,000. That's amazing. One song. Crazy.
You love the way I look at you while taking pleasure in the awful things you put me through. You take away if I give in. My life, my pride is broken. You have to think you're never wrong. You live what you do. You have to act like you're someone. You live what you do. You want someone to have like you. You live what you do. You wanna share what you've been through. You live what you do. You love the things I say I'll do. The way I hurt myself again just to get back at you. You take away when I give in. My life, my pride is broken. You have to think you're never wrong. You live what you do. You have to act like you're someone. You live what you do. You want someone to have like you. You live what you do. You wanna share what you've been through. You live what you do.
I actually don't think that this song is as strong as something like With You. It's good. Is it as strong? I don't think so. Don't think it's as strong. Don't think it's as strong. But I think it's good. It's good, obviously. The chorus is good. It's not. It's not. It's my least favorite of the ones we've heard so far. And I mean, the next song. This song, I mean, I can't do anything but love this song. I mean, it was the first song I ever heard of Linkin Park. It was the first, like, proper, kind of a modern, like, new metal rock, rap rock sound. All this sort of stuff. This song. It won a Grammy in 2002 for Best Hard Rock Performance. The song alternates between rap song lyrics by Mike Shinoda and varied pitches of shinging, sorry, from Chester Bennington. Chester claims it's hard to perform the song live due to his own personal experience similar to the problems in the song. The music video for the song was directed by Rose Strauss. It picks a young woman portrayed by Caitlin Rosassen. Rosassen? That's an interesting last name. And as struggles with a new music boyfriend, the surrounding crystals represent her alienation from the world. Linkin Park is seen performing in a Fortress of Solitude-esque location. At the end of the video, the crystals are no longer seen, representing the woman's escape from the relationship. What a song, man. Such a good song. This was my first experience with the band, with this kind of music. Incredible. So the way it opened, I mean, my god. It's gotta be one of the best songs they've ever made. This is crazy. It's nuts. It's nuts. It's such a good song. It's insane.
Comfort endlessly has pulled itself upon me, distracting, reacting. Against my will, I stand beside my own reflection. It's haunting how I can't seem to find myself again. My walls are closing in. Not a sense of confidence. I'm convinced that there's just too much pressure to take. I felt this way before. So insecure. Crawling in my skin. These wounds, they will not heal.
It's so good. It's so good. It's nuts. I mean, I'm happy to listen to this again after so long, because it's one of those songs that it's gonna always be in my mind. It's always I'm gonna remember this song forever because it's such a big. It did so much for me. It made me find music, and it kind of opened my mind immediately to music. Like as soon as I heard it, like you should imagine. We're like in the what's it called, like a school courtyard? I don't know, school yard, and we're listening to music, right? We're having like headphones, and my friend he puts all the headphones on me, and he plays this. He's like, listen to this. I was just immediately just crazy. I mean, it changed everything for me, to be honest. It made me who I am today in terms of loving music so much. So yeah, love Crawling. Fantastic song. Very, very good. Next up, only 86k views on Genius. This one, Runaway, the 6th track of the album. Basically, it describes what someone can feel when he or she feels that it's tortured by society and simply decides to escape. It has received good criticism because some people consider it to be a song written for teenagers, and as many can notice, it has a similar structure to Crawling. It's very. Oh, is this a song that sounds exactly like Crawling, but it's just not as good? I obviously recognize it straight away. Well, let's have a listen.
Under a sky of dust, a constant wave of tension on top of broken trust. The lessons that you taught me, I learned were never true. Now I find myself in question. They point the finger at me again. Guilty by association. You point the finger at me again. I wanna run away.
This is gonna be the most like one of their like. It's such a like it makes sense. Like it's like made for teenagers, not made for them. Like specifically, they've done that. But I'm saying like it makes sense that it sounds like a song written for teenagers, even by teenagers. You know, it's very simplistic, and it sounds a lot like crawling. Yeah. This definitely. This is not. This is not their strongest. This is not their strongest for sure. Runaway is not their strongest song. Not their strongest song. Definitely not. Alright. By Myself. So this has quite a strange, interesting. So this has a lot more views of the lyrics, but it has a lot less streams. In fact, it's one of the least streamed songs on the album. So this is By Myself. So this song started out under the demo name Sad 1999. Signing the band, it was a song describes a person with no self-confidence as well as a drug problem. Damn. Both of those were issues that Chester Bennington faced throughout his lifetime. Okay. Let's have a listen. Don't really recall the song very much anymore, so let's have a listen. Definitely much more aggressive immediately.
What do I do to ignore them behind me? Do I follow my instincts blindly? Do I hide my pride from these bad dreams and give in to sad thoughts that are maddening? Do I sit here and try to stand it? Or do I try to catch them red-handed? Do I trust some and get fooled by phoniness? Or do I trust nobody and live in loneliness? Because I can't hold on when I'm stretched so thin. I make the right moves but I'm lost within. I put on my daily facade but then I just end up getting hurt again by myself. I ask why. But in my mind I can't rely on myself. I ask why. But in my mind I can't rely on myself. I can't hold on. Do what I want when I'm stretched so thin.
It sounds like a song would be on like SSX or something. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I feel about the like, you know, do I trust some and get fooled by phoniness, or do I trust nobody and live in loneliness? I don't know. It's a bit, you know, it's a bit much, but I do get it. You know, of course. Let's skip ahead a little bit. Oh, by the way, I won't, like, when I'm listening to albums I've never heard, I'm not going to be skipping ahead, don't worry. This is kind of this video is very much just a kind of a test for me, more so than for you guys. It's very much a test with an album that I'm familiar with, just so I can have a see how this works, how it goes, what it sounds like, you know, etc. So don't think too much of it. But I won't be skipping through albums I've never heard before, and I won't be skipping through any other albums. Period. It's just that I'm quite familiar with this album, even though I haven't listened to it for a while. I just kind of want to get a feel for, you know, actually how this all works, because I have so many things on the screen. I only have one monitor, so I'm just trying to figure out, you know, trying to see how it all works. All right. I definitely like Chester's bit in this song. He sounds I definitely like him a lot more than Mike in this one. He's almost got like a Nirvana kind of sound to his vocals here.
So much, so much. How do you expect I will know what to do when all I know is what you tell me to? Don't you? I can't tell you how to make it. No matter what I do, how hard I can't seem to convince myself. I'm stuck on the outside. Don't you? I can't tell you how to make it. No matter what I do, how hard.
All right, I like it a lot more now. The beginning was a bit weak, but this is great. This is great.
Can't seem to convince myself. I'm stuck on the outside. I can't hold on to what I want when it's just so big. It's all too much to take in. I can't hold on to anything, watching everything spin. It's thoughts of failure sinking in. I can't hold on to what I want when it's just so big. It's all too much to take in. I can't hold on to anything, watching everything spin. It's thoughts of failure sinking.
All right. Sorry about that, my friends. It got very dark. It got very dark very quick. So I had to turn on the big light. I'll make sure that next time as well. This is another thing, I was working all morning and I wasn't able to start recording until like 3, and because it's still winter here, it's it gets dark very quick. So I had to put the big light on, and I hate having the big light on. If you know me, I always sit in the darkness. I always never like having the light on, but I like natural light, of course, but not the big. I'm in an apartment. It's at least it's not like blue or white. It's kind of yellow lighting, but it's still not my preference. Not my preference. So yeah. Just got some water as well. Sorry, yeah, it got dark real quick. My phone went off. My wife called me. Phone went off, and as soon as I came back, it was all dark outside. So we're gonna keep going. Sorry about that. It's only been about 20 minutes, but it just it gets dark real quick. So what were we up to? Oh, yes, we were up to In the End. In the End is mainly based on one person's failure. Its most possible meaning is that it's about time wasted on trying to build a relationship with a girl who doesn't want to be with you. Fair enough. I remember putting this together in a rehearsal studio in Hollywood and Vine, working overnight in a room without windows. I had no idea what time of day it was. I just slept when I was tired and worked on the song until it took shape. First guy to hear it was Rob, who told me, I'm paraphrasing, that this was exactly the kind of song he wanted us to write. That's really cool. I had no idea what time of day it was. I just slept when I was tired and worked on the song until it took shape. That's awesome. That's awesome. Like, imagine having a studio, no windows. You don't leave the room. You have some food in the room. Like, there's a fridge with food, and then you just sit there, and you just work until it's done. That's awesome. That's what I've always wanted so bad. That seems so nice. Such a nice environment to work in, where everything is just you could just hunker down and work, and there's no excuses. And no interruptions, no distractions. During a Q&A, Chester admitted he wasn't enthusiastic about this song. I don't really participate in picking singles. I learned that after making Hybrid Theory. I was never a fan of In the End, and I didn't want it to even be on the record, honestly. How wrong could I have possibly been? Yeah, wow, that's pretty crazy because it's a masterpiece, and it's a monster of a song. Absolutely crazy. I mean, we'll play it now. I mean, can it get any more iconic in terms of what a song? All right.
It starts with one thing. I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme to explain in due time. All I know, time is a valuable thing. Watch it fly by as the pendulum swings. Watch it count down to the end of the day. The clock takes life away. It's so unreal. Didn't look out below. Watch the time go right out the window. Trying to hold on to didn't even know I wasted it all just to watch you go. I kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to be will eventually be a memory of a time I
Let me just say, do anyone even need the lyrics to this song? Everyone knows the lyrics to this song. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things. Everyone knows the lyrics. It's a song that, if you've listened to any music in the last 20 years, you will know this song. You have heard the song on the radio. You will have played this song many times yourself. You will have heard it in YouTube videos. You will have heard it in everything. It is such an iconic song, and it's such a fantastic song, and I'm happy it exists. It's an example, perfect example. Numb as well, but I think this is one of those examples of a song. It doesn't get old. It doesn't get old. It's played so much, but it doesn't get old. I'm a big fan of it. Big fan.
It's so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. One thing, I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme to remind myself how I tried so hard, in spite of the way you were mocking me, acting like
It's
I was part of
crazy
you.
that Chester thought this song was bad. That's nuts. Especially like the bridge.
I can't
It's like one of my favorite parts.
it all, but in the end, it doesn't even matter.
So crazy. He thought it was like he didn't want it on the record. That's nuts. That's so great. Can you imagine if this was on Meteora instead and Numb? Whew.
Put my trust in you, pushed as far as I can go. For all this, there's only one thing you should know. I've put my trust in you, pushed as far as I can go. For all this, there's only one thing you should know. I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't even matter.
I mean, it's incredible. Peak. It's absolutely fantastic. And then after that, we actually go into a part. So, A Place for My Head. It's another song. Actually, the next two songs, Place for My Head and Forgotten. I know two songs that I'm very familiar with. But A Place for My Head is very popular. It's quite a popular song. 254 million streams. It's not a song that I don't really recall very well. 200k views for lyrics. That's a good amount. A Place for My Head. Okay, like the intro. Like the intro. Well, I don't actually remember this song at all. Yeah. I really like the intro.
Watch how the moon sits in the sky on a dark night, shining with the light from the sun. The sun doesn't give light to the moon, assuming the moon's gonna owe it one. It makes me think of how you act for me. You do favors there rapidly. You just turn around and start asking me about things that you want back from me. I'm sick of the tension, sick of the hunger, sick of you acting like I owe you this. Find another place to feed your greed while I find a place to rest. I wanna be in another place. I hate when you say you don't understand.
I do remember this quite well. I like it a lot, actually. Yeah. Sorry, I'm also trying to kind of re-familiarize myself, with a lot of these songs. It's been so long, but at the end of every album, I'll do a top 3 of my favorite songs of the album. Yeah, and I'll do an honorable mention as well.
They'll be just like you and step on people like you do and run away all the people I thought I knew. I remember back then who you were. You used to be calm, used to be strong, used to be generous, but you should have known that you wear out your welcome, and now you see how quiet it is all alone. I'm so sick of the tension, sick of the hunger, sick of you acting like I owe you this. Find another place to feed your greed while I find a place to rest. I'm so sick of the tension, sick of the hunger, sick of you acting like I owe you this. Find another place to feed your greed while I find a place to rest. I hate when you say you don't understand.
The bridge.
Try to take the best of me. Go away! Try to take the best of me. Go away, you. Try to take the best of me.
So sensual.
Away, you. Try to take the best of me. Go away, you. Try to take the best of me. Go away, you. Try to take the best of me. Go away, you. Try to take the best of me. Go away, you. Try to take the best of me. Go away, you.
All right. I get it. All right. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right. Next up, Forgotten. Now, I think Forgotten, if I'm not mistaken, so it's definitely the least looked at. Oh no, Cure for the Itch, I suppose, but Cure for the Itch also, it has like 3 lyrics. Forgotten. It's one of the very first songs the band ever wrote, formerly known as Rhinestone. It was featured among 3 other tracks on the Zero demo tape recorded in 1996. When Mike Wakefield was the lead singer. It's the only song from this tape that's been later reworked with new lyrics and used in the album.
From the top to the bottom, the top I stop. At the core I forgot, in the middle of my thoughts. Take it far.
Okay, Limp Bizkit, dude. What? From the top to the bottom. At the core I've forgotten. Oh God. All right. This is a very different energy all of a sudden.
The memory won't escape me. Why should I care? From the top to the bottom, the top I stop. At the core I forgot, in the middle of my thoughts. Taking far from my safety. Pictures there. The memory won't escape me. Why should I care? There's a place so dark you can't see the end. Skies cocked back. Shotgun which can't.
Cockback. The term cockback is a one at first strike that which can't defend indicates something other than the subconscious. Holy shit. Okay, I don't understand, whatever. Doesn't matter.
And the rain then sends dripping, acidic questions, forcefully, the power of suggestion. Then with the eyes shut, looking through the rust and rotten dust, a small spot of light floods the floor and pours over the rusted world of pretend. And the eyes ease open and it's dark again. From the top to the bottom, on the top I stop. At the core I forgot, in the middle of my thoughts. Taking far from my safety. The picture's there. The memory won't escape me. Why should I care? Can't be perfect again. From the top to the bottom to top. Me caught me out, you bring the thought back. Telling you that I see it right through you. And you got me caught in the act. You bring the thought back. Telling you.
So I definitely think that this is the worst song so far for sure. I definitely don't. This is not my kind of thing. This is definitely the most Definitely the most kind of, you can tell that this is from 1986, and it's not. It was written previously. It was remade, new lyrics. You know, it's much more. It's a bit. It's a bit. I don't know what the word is, but it's so. It feels like a like a proof of concept. It feels like a demo, kind of like the Runaway song, where it feels like it's gonna become something much better later on. Um, yeah, Forgotten is an interesting uh, song title because, well, it's the one song that if you ask me to name the track list for this album without looking at it, that's the only song I wouldn't remember, which is which is pretty funny. But now we have arrived to Cure for the Itch, which is a song that, as you can see, has like no lyrics, but it's actually one of my favorite songs of the album because it's so different. It's the holds the distinction of being the only song performed solely by one member of the group, Joe Hahn. Spins and scratches over complex, often unpredictable drum programming. Uh, I really like the like this song. I really like this song. So if you haven't heard it, it's very different than all the other songs, and I really like that. So let's have a listen.
Folks, we have a very special guest for you tonight. I'd like to introduce...
Let's hear it for the great Mr. Hahn.
Definite Tony Hawk, bloody intro not intro, sorry, menu music. Very cool.
In rhythm management. Let's begin. All right now, wasn't that fun? Let's try something else.
This sounds like bloody, like oh, what's it called? Fantastic. I mean, it's great. I love that because it sounds almost like a like an instrumental piece for like some kind of very dark themed kind of video game, kind of maybe something like Spec Ops: The Line, or something that's very has a lot of dark, heavy themes. I like it a lot. So, or for a film, maybe a soundtrack to a film. If you haven't heard this before, it's probably very surprising how different it is than the rest of the album, but it's a good song. I like it. It's a much needed reprieve from kind of the the more kind of constant barrage of the rest of the rest of the album, and especially after something like this.
From the top to the bottom, the top
I prefer this. This ends with this melody kind of fading out, and then it starts. We have Pushing Me Away starting right after that. Pushing Me Away, there we go. Pushing Me Away is the 12th and closing track on Linkin Park's debut album. Now, we're going to obviously have a look at My December and High Voltage as well, which were the two songs that were on the bonus edition of the album. But Hybrid Theory, it deals with strong themes of unbreakable relationships and coming back to that one person even when it's the wrong path to choose.
I've lied to you the same way that I always do. This is the last smile that I'll fake for the sake of being with you. Everything falls apart, even the people who never frown eventually break down. The sacrifice of fighting in the light. Everything has to end, you'll soon find we're out of time left to watch it all unwind. The sacrifice is never knowing why I never walked away, why I played myself this way. Now I see you're testing me, pushes me away. Why I never walked away, why I played myself this way. Now I see you're testing me, pushes me away.
I like this song a lot, and it's a good way to end the album, in my opinion. And I'll say this in a moment as well, but I think, looking at the album, I think had the original album have been had forgotten, been taken out, and put My December put in its place, I think the album would have been even more kind of how do you say, balanced, even better balanced, because I think My December, and we'll get to this in a moment, but My December is a must have, and you can take. I personally, I can take or leave High Voltage, but I think My December has to go in there. But Pushing Me Away is a good way to end the original album. Don't get me wrong, it's a good song.
I've tried like you to do everything you
Let me go to the
want
bridge.
me to. Why testing me pushes me away? We're all out of time. This is how we find how it all unwinds. The sacrifice of hiding in the light. We're all out of time. This is how we find how it all unwinds. The sacrifice is never knowing why I never walked away, why I played myself this way. Now I see you're testing me, pushes me away. Why I never walked away, why I played myself this way. Now I see you're testing me, pushes me away. Pushes me away.
Yeah, it's a good way to end the album. It is. But next up is one of my favorite songs of the album, and one of my favorite songs by them in general is I think this song was very much ahead of its time in terms of this is a song that it sounds like it would have been on Meteora, and it probably would have been, because it came out as a bonus track. But it's one of those songs that I don't know what we're going to read about it, but it's a song that feels like it was, where is it? My December, there we go. It feels like it wasn't a song, with softer rock. Earliest Experiments was conceived after the release of their debut. The song was first released on the B-side of One Step Closer, along another little-known LP track, High Voltage. Released as bonus track for the Japanese and European editions of Hybrid Theory. Lyrically, the song has a very dark tone and was primarily composed by Mike Shinoda. The song was recorded between live tours of Hybrid Theory. The point of view character in the song seems to express a deep yearning to return to a normal, low-key life in exchange for giving up their current life being in the concert eye of the public. Well, this song was beautiful. I think it's absolutely beautiful, and it I'm very glad that they put it on the album. But if it ended up on Meteora, it would have been just as at home. So let's take a listen. Always been a fan of their softer songs.
This is my December.
I hope it's loud enough.
This is my time of the year. This is my December. This is also clear.
It's a beautiful song. Beautiful.
This is my December. This is my snow-covered home. This is my December. This is me alone. Just wish that I didn't feel like there was something I missed. Take back all the things I said to make you feel like that. Just wish that I didn't feel like there was something I missed. Take back all the things that I said to you. And I give it all away. Just to have
Yeah.
somewhere to go to. Give it all away.
This makes me emotional, but this song is, I think, if you ask me, I think High Voltage, and High Voltage is fine, but it's High Voltage and Forgotten, I think, are the worst. If you're gonna ask me for worst tracks of this album, it's gonna be those two, right? And High Voltage isn't even on the actual album. Forgotten is definitely the worst on the album, in my opinion. Again, it's all in my opinion. If you like it, more power to you. I have a soft spot for With You, Crawling, and In the End. But I'm gonna say In the End is probably my I'm not gonna put it in my top three. You know, I mean, it's a monster of a song. It's gonna be my honorable mention. I think My December is definitely in my top three of the album. It's such a good song. I mean, it's so powerful, and it's where they first, one of the first times. Well, it would be the first time they showed their how much power is in their slower and more calm songs, because some of my favorite songs by them, Powerless from Living Things, Iridescent from A Thousand Suns, Shadow of the Day from Minutes to Midnight, those are all songs I absolutely adore, and they're all slow songs, just as My December is fantastic.
To have someone to come home to. This is my December. These are my snow-covered trees. This is me pretending. This is all I need. Just wish that I didn't feel like there was something I missed.
I mean, yeah, it's great, and it's really powerful. For me personally, because it's very nostalgic, and this was one of those songs that took me away from the kind of, the like excitement of being like, oh, this is amazing, this is new. I need to find all these different rap, rock, early 2000s, all these groups, like Limp Bizkit and POD, and that spread into different bands and whatnot. But this song kind of brought me back, and kind of it showed me how valuable it is to just it's not everything is just about, oh, I like this because it's a song that I'm always been the kind of person who's glass half full. I've never been a negative person, never been glass half empty, never. It's just not me. I don't give up, etc. But sometimes you need a bit of a sulk, and I think that's really important. You can't always scream against the world. Sometimes you have to sit and think, and I think that's what this song does really well. It makes you, it allows you to appreciate the rest of their songs more. I think that was always one of their strengths. I think having these kinds of songs, if it was always go all the time, it just wouldn't be. These songs wouldn't have any effect. I mean, these songs didn't exist. It wouldn't. The overall vibe of the band, the music wouldn't be so strong. I never like artists that only make one type of music. There's a couple artists who do it and they do it really well, but you need to have a range in terms of what creatively you need to be evolving as an artist, but as a person. And if you don't do that, then you're gonna stagnate in your career and in your life, and that's no good. Just as the world around you evolves, you have to evolve with it. And the strongest species is not the species that survives. It's not the strongest. It's the one that's most adaptable to change. And I think that's really important, and very true in terms of making movies, making video games, making films, anything creative. I think it's important to keep evolving. And these songs show how versatile this band is, and how versatile the first 5 albums. They made other stuff afterwards, which there's some of that stuff that's good, and a lot of the stuff I'm actually not very familiar with at all, so we'll have to have a look at that at some point as well. But the first 5 albums, there is so much there, so much quality, so much amazing beauty, so much powerful music that, I love them. And I know my friend will appreciate this video because he's been telling me for ages to make these videos, but especially talk about Linkin Park, and I'm happy I did it. So let's listen to High Voltage, and then I will say goodbye. But we have one more song to go. Let's listen.
You know what I mean? You can put a label on a life, put a label on a lifestyle, put a label on how you wake up every morning and go to bed at night.
I've been digging in the crates ever since I was living in space. Before the rat race, before monkeys had human traits. I mastered numerology and Big Bang theology. Performed lobotomies with telekinetic psychology. Invented the mic so I could start blessing it. Chin checking kids to make my point like an impressionist. Many men have tried to shake us, but I twist my chords to double helixes and show them what I made.
I was wrong. This one was definitely better than Forgotten. Definitely better. But I just couldn't remember it very well. But it also... it's very different to something like My December. It encapsulates the new metal sound with Shinoda rapping and speaking frankly about the criticism the genre received. It's almost a plea for the band to be taken seriously, as they could predict the hate storm that would descend on new metal. The way he does this is by spinning add-up rhymes that lyrically lay waste to any potential competition, confirming that Linkin Park would outlast the commercial success of the genre. It turns out he was right, although they'd never matched their achievements from the early 2000s. Fair enough, but to be fair, I mean, they're a mainstay, and everyone knows them, and there's some, sure, the first 2 albums, but I mean, even stuff from the other 3 still played today, still very well known. I mean, you can say, they didn't match it, but that's crazy. That's saying like, oh, this old man, isn't as good as he was back then, or is he not as good as, of course, people get older, things change. You can't expect someone to be perfect all the time.
I buckle knees like leg braces, cast a spell of instrumentalness on all of you MCs who hate us. So you can try on, leave you without a shoulder to cry on. From now to infinity, let icons be bygones. I firebomb, ghostly notes haunt this. I tried threats, but moved on to a the gauntlet with whoever that wants this.
The unforgettable sound, bringing you up and taking you down, coming at you from every side, making the rhythm and rhyme collide.
I put it.
Definitely has some of the most interesting lyrics of the album, but still it isn't one of my favorite songs because it is so different, and it does feel like very much an attempt of them to prove like, hey, you know, we're here to stay and whatnot. But I mean, it's good. It's still very good. Yeah, I would say the only song that I actively don't really care for is Forgotten. But I guess that makes sense. You know, it was made by a different person in 1986, and it was kind of remade to fit, you know, it wasn't authentically made by them to begin with. Oh, it was, Chester wasn't involved, I suppose. But, you know, what, anyway. My December, okay, top 3. I'll put it on the screen. Honorable mention, in the end. Honorable mention in the end, because I'm not going to put that in my top 3. I'll lose any credibility I have immediately. No, I mean, it's good to put it in the top 3. It's fantastic, but it's I'll put it as my honorable mention. Number 3 is going to be With You, because I have a soft spot for it. I think it's the most underrated song of the album. Number 2 is going to be My December, because it's such a gateway to their later, slower songs, and it's a beautiful song in its own right. And then I would say Crawling is number 1 because of what it did for me as a person and how it opened the floodgates for me to experience music as I do today. So yeah, thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed today's video and you had fun. I definitely did. I'm very happy to have listened to this album once again. Well, for the first time in a really long time, and I've never sat down and just listened. I mean, I've never done that with any album, to be honest. A couple maybe, but not that I can remember. You know, so I'm definitely excited to bring you guys many more of these videos if you're interested. Sabi, love you. This one's for you, and if you guys do watch this, if this is the first one you see, you know, please put albums in the comments that you want to see. I would love that if you can put some albums in the comments, maybe some artists. If you want me to look at a specific artist, I have like 10 or 15 albums lined up that I'm gonna do, and then hopefully at that point there'll be some people commenting like, hey, you know, do this one or whatever. Being hopeful, but yeah, thank you, and I will see you in the next video. Appreciate everything you guys have done for me in the past year and a half, and hopefully to much more to come. Thank you. Bye-bye.